5 Cold War pilots back at the airfield where they trained, once more under the gaze of RAF Leeming's control tower, reunited where they last posed for a group picture 50 years ago. In 1974, these men received their wings as young officers of the Royal Air Force. But military service and life provided the pilots with alternative destinies. One of the men even ended up serving in the Luftwaffe.
Between the 5 of us, I think it's nearly about 150 years of service. So we've got a lot of war stories to tell between us.
Back then they cut their teeth behind the controls of Jet Provosts. But for this visit they're seeing its modern equivalent in a behind-the-scenes tour of their old stomping ground. There's also an opportunity to relive their time in the very same crew room they used to relax in 5 decades ago.
And there were briefing and debriefing facilities here, and there was a kitchen there. And I clearly remember the briefing and debriefing, and the debriefing especially because I had an American instructor, Captain Jimmy Howard, and he would come down after a sortie and say, "I'll see you in the debriefing room in 5 minutes. Prepare me a cup of coffee and a peanut jelly and jam sandwich."
Their respective military careers and lives each took different directions in the months and years that followed their time at Leeming.
So I was basically booted out due to the defence cuts. I came back in as a reservist after doing a lot of civilian aircraft related work, ending up on the Storm Shadow implementation manager.
And bears a relevance to today in the context of Ukraine and places.
Yes, with Ukraine using it. I'm imagining all the ground target models and all the digital data that we relied upon.
For one now retired group captain, the conversion course to fast jets didn't go as planned. So you go to Anglesey and it doesn't work out?
That's correct, yes.
And how do you deal with that as a pilot?
It's very bad, it's very hard. I'd never failed at anything in my life. So to fail at something which you'd wanted to do since a child, it's actually quite emotionally difficult. And of course, I left in a peak of, they offered me something else, but I didn't want to do it. I'm a pilot or nothing. And then, of course, when I left the Air Force, I realised that I missed it. And in fact, my then girlfriend missed it more than I did. And eventually I thought, well, maybe I should do something about it.
Rejoining the service, Tom became a navigator, flying on a range of aircraft from Buccaneer to Tornado.
The Buccaneer is you, a map, and a stopwatch and a compass. The Tornado, you've got a fantastic radar, you've got a navigation system, you've got GPS. It's wonderful. What would I rather fly in war? A Tornado. What would I rather fly for fun? A Buccaneer.
Just one of the men went on to a career as a fighter pilot, serving on Jaguar.
At the time, it was one of the most advanced aircraft we had. It had moving map display, head-up display, things that other frontline aircraft didn't have. So from that point of view, it was novel, but also quite demanding.
It's interesting to hear how, even though there is that gap between then and now, you and one of the gentlemen that are here today have even flown the same aircraft.
Same type, and I think that was the Jaguar, and obviously I've been lucky. I've flown the Typhoon display, I've done lots of other different things, flown the Hawk here at Leeming, but meeting somebody that's also flown the Jaguar, you also have a special place in your heart for people that have gone through and experienced exactly the same thing as you have, so still really relevant for today.
I think that these types of visits are really important for everybody at RAF Leeming, but also for those people that were here 50 years ago today with the same weather on a Friday, and to be able to come back to RAF Leeming and see it as it is today has been fantastic. And just talking to them for the last kind of hour and a half, I can see they've all had an amazing time, and what a lovely thing to do.
They may be pilots from another era, but they remain part of the Royal Air Force family. And as former members of this station, they'll always be welcome through the gates at RAF Leeming. James Wharton, BFBS Forces News, Leeming. Thanks for watching. For more from BFBS Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.